Just like the creatures in folklore, internet trolls like to disrupt business and cause problems online. So, how do you protect yourself and your business? Welcome to Expert Connections. I'm Julie Holton. If you've spent any amount of time online, you've likely seen some of these cyber gripers. But at what point does it cross over into cyberbullying, harassment, or something worse? And can you do anything about it? I'm joined by attorney John Mashni of Foster Swift, our legal connections expert. John, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
This really has become a major problem for some businesses. On one hand, these comments online can be rude or annoying. But on the other hand, sometimes these cyber gripers can really attempt to take down a business. How do you address this, or do you address this?
It's a great question, Julie. And I think you really have to look at every situation differently. The traditional legal toolbox is you first send a letter to someone and you say, hey, please stop, or we have some claim against you. Oftentimes it's defamation if there's false information that's being spread around. But when it comes to the proliferation in the last decade of social media and the ability of many, many people, in fact, anyone, frankly, around the world to have a voice, particularly a voice about your business, if they don't like your business or your company or your organization, it's very difficult to just send a letter and then have the problem go away. And one thing that I try to help people with when these kinds of issues come up is to understand that this is not a traditional legal solution. It's much more than legal. There's a practical solution. There's a real solution. And if you think about it, many times the problem isn't necessarily that someone is spreading false information about you. You want to make sure that they're not spreading bad but true information about you. So you really need to look at what's being said, and like I said, the traditional legal methods of sending a letter and potentially filing a lawsuit very often don't work.
Yeah, such a good point. A lot of this is reputation management and taking into serious consideration what's being said and why it's being said. What are some tactics? Let's say, something is being done with some sort of malicious intent. Are there tactics that businesses can take to deal with this?
First step is make sure that what they're saying, is it true? Is it not true? If it's not true, then we may have a claim for defamation or some type of slander. If it is true, or if it's a statement of opinion, then I think it's going to be much harder to go down that traditional legal route, even if it's nefarious, even if someone is out to attack your business. If someone is trying to attack your business by spreading information that's negative, but not necessarily misinformation, then I think you have to look at alternative and creative solutions sometimes. If someone's posting negative reviews, look at how do I get more positive reviews? How do I proactively manage my reputation in this review system through whichever review channel that you're dealing with, whether it's Google, sometimes Yelp, sometimes, whatever it is, if it's industry specific. So look at how to get more positive reviews, get creative. And I think I've talked to many people and sent these links out to many people in presentations and to clients. Sometimes in the proliferation of negative reviews, you actually try to get negative reviews, meaning like the 1-star reviews, because you flood out all the really bad ones. It's more of a parody or a comedy, right? Sometimes you incentivize good reviews and you find ways to do that. Because what happens is if you don't get creative, if you have the traditional solution of sending a letter or threatening legal action, oftentimes the people don't care. They might not even have any assets that are worth going after. And so what? You sue them, they declare bankruptcy, and then what happens? They're still mad at you and they're still attacking you online, and maybe they've found different ways to harm you and hurt you. So the first step is assess the type of information that's being shared. Is it actionable? If it is, then do something. But if it's not, then get creative. Either try to work out a resolution, address the actual truthful problems that they're identifying, and then think about practically, how do I proactively manage my reputation online?
John, I want to also ask you about this idea of safety, security, of privacy for business owners, because there could be, if there is some malicious intent, there could be some concern about maybe the comments escalating from just comments or threats to something more than that. So what do you recommend for your clients?
Yeah, it can be very scary, right? When you think about, you don't know the face or the person on the other side of the computer. What are their intentions? What are they trying to do? Part of my practice is I try to help people with privacy. understanding in this age that we live in, privacy is so important. So for example, you want to make sure that if someone is angry with you or your business, that they can't just go and find your home address, or they can't find your home phone number, your personal email. They don't know all these identifying pieces of information about you or your company or people within your company. Many cases, we're not thinking about those things when we form entities, right? What's the address that's listed as a registered office for our LLC or for our company? Is our home address publicly available? Things like that, where if you have someone that's attacking your business and it's a malicious attack or it's nefarious, then you don't want to make yourself an easy target for someone who is very, very mad, whether it's justifiably so or not justifiably so. You just want to take those basic precautions so that your personal information isn't out there. It makes it you an easy target.
Absolutely. And John, of course, in previous episodes, we've discussed cybersecurity, among other things. So to refer back to that episode and for more resources, for additional information from the attorneys at Foster Swift, head to wlaj.com/expertconnections and click the link for Legal Connections. John, thank you.
Thanks a lot.